What we do here is go back.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Word on the Curb. And this Word on the Curb is breaking news. Yes, we have breaking news. And I must say, it is mind-blowing. I was on these internet streets and just looking around, seeing what I wanted to add into my podcast. And I ran into this from People magazine. It says Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet will attend school in the UK as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle move back to Britain. I kid you not. When I read this, I said it has to be People magazine being the magazine that we know it to be. This cannot be true. What is going on here? And so I read it, and this is what it says. Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet will attend school in the UK for the first time next month. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are relocating their family to Britain after 6 years based in California. The move follows the children's first reunion with King Charles in more than 4 years during the family summer visit. What are y'all thinking? I'm telling you, when I saw this, I said, I don't believe it. And then I ran into this from a squatty, and it's from Extra TV. And they're repeating what People magazine said, but they're giving legitimacy to People magazine. And it says Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will move back to the UK with kids Archie 7 and Lilibet 5, People magazine reports. The mag reports that the move is happening this month, with the children set to begin school there in September. And I'm like, could it possibly be true? I mean, they are lending some legitimacy to People magazine. And the squatty that posted this said, if the news about Prince Harry and Meghan is true, if they are moving back here, at least our media can continue to abuse her from the comfort of this time zone. Let me tell you, squatties are not happy. This news is breaking, but squatties are absolutely not happy and is wondering what is going on here. And I am wondering the same. Then I ran into this. A squatty posted this from the Scum. And it says 6 years after Brexit, royals moved back from the US to raise kids in the UK. Harry and Meg coming home. I cannot. And this was posted by Norinda Kaur. And she says the Duchess needs protecting at all costs, especially after what the vultures did to Professor Jason Arday. I'm telling you, my head is spinning. But then I ran into this one and I really started to believe it. It is from the New York Times, y'all. And the New York Times says, breaking news, Prince Harry, his wife Meghan, and their children are said to be returning to live in Britain after 6 years in the U.S. That's the New York Times, y'all. I'm telling you, I had to sit a minute and allow myself to let this news wash over me. And the ugly old hags, the trolls, the derangers are losing their SHIT. Dan Wooten, aka Martin Brennan, is losing his SHIT over there on his channel. It is all so crazy at this time here on these internet streets. This squatty says this is Squatty's 9/11. Yes, it is. I'm telling you, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to sit. I don't know how to process any of this. Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think about this. What do you think is going on? This squatty said, I think I'm going to bed early today because we did not see this one coming. What went on over there at Highgrove when Harry and Meghan met with Charles? Did Charles tell them something? This is not something that I had on my bingo card. Is Charles dying? Y'all, I am just going through the scenarios of why this might be occurring. Now, this is Cameron Walker reporting on it. Yes, from over there at GB News. And he says, breaking, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and their children are moving back to the UK. The King was first made aware on Sunday. So, Buckingham Palace is confirming, y'all. So, it's real. It is happening. It is happening. It says, and insists there is no change in their royal status. There is still no half in, half out role for them. I understand they remain private citizens. Now, do you think the British media is going to respect that? They say that they're going to live outside of London. And a lot of people are guessing the Cotswolds. I don't know, y'all. What do you think? This is going to be so interesting to watch to see exactly what goes on here. Something is happening behind the scenes that we don't know. And I see a lot of squatties jumping to conclusions and really being upset. But you know, I am not that kind of squatty. I'm the kind that sits back and waits to see exactly what's going on here because you best believe something is going on. A squatty came up under Cameron Walker's post and said Charles must not be doing well. Also, Invictus Games would require too much back and forth. I don't believe it has anything to do with the Invictus Games because the Invictus Games has been all over the place and Harry has remained there in California. It must have something to do with Charles. Something went on there at Highgrove. I don't know what is going on here. Boy, it is a mystery, but it is true. I believe it's true, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. And this squatty said, this cannot be effing real. It doesn't seem real. It seems like I am living in an alternative reality here. It just doesn't seem real that our Prince Harry and our Duchess Meghan and Prince Archie and Princess Lilibeth is moving back to Britain. It's going to take me a minute to get my head around this one, y'all. And here's the front page of the Daily Telegraph. Harry's coming home. It's official, y'all. Yes, us squatties have a lot to get our head around. But I think we really need to keep our head about us and not really lose our cool. Now, it's some squatties losing their cools and talking about how them and the derangers have something in common. I have nothing in common with those people. But I do know that it's going to take me a minute. It's going to take me a minute. But here it is. Harry's coming home. And the BBC News reported that Harry and Meghan are to relocate back to the UK. It's official. I'm going to play you this soundbite from the BBC and we'll talk on the other side.
Yes, it's a huge surprise, Rita. The Daily Telegraph reporting that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, that their two children, Archie and Libet, will be moving back to the UK in the weeks ahead. In the past few minutes, I've spoken to a spokesperson for Harry and Meghan who has confirmed that this will be happening, that the children, Archie and Libet, are going to be enrolled or have been enrolled in a UK school. Which means they are likely to start the new term in the second week of September. So we're likely to see the family back here literally in the weeks ahead. We understand, and the Telegraph are reporting, that they will move to a home outside of London. It won't be a royal residence of any kind. The move back to the UK won't change their status in any way. They will remain non-working members of the royal family. But they clearly feel, rather surprisingly, that at this stage of their lives, they would like to return to the UK, move away from the life that they had built in America, and have their children, importantly, educated here in the UK.
Daniela, thank you. Daniela Rolfe there.
What do y'all think? I don't know what to think, but this squatty right here answers the question, why? It is a lot of squatties saying, why? Why is Harry putting his wife and family through this? What is going on? And this squatty posted this new article from the Telegraph that says the king said he would cope with cancer in his own way after receiving his diagnosis, the Queen has revealed. Well, Camilla just today released an interview with the BBC, I think it was, and she was talking about Charles's cancer. And then all of a sudden, later on the day, we get this announcement from Harry and Meghan. And this squatty said, the answer is right here. Do y'all think that's the answer? Do you think it's because he told Harry something about how long he has to live? And Harry did this. This is Harry. And this is Harry playing on Meghan's emotions, I believe. Because I don't believe he would have ever got Meghan to move back unless it was something very dire going on. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This is going to be interesting to watch. It really is. Now, y'all, it is going to be something. And let's not forget, we still got Willie and Kitty out there. What are they thinking? But I am willing to bet you we will soon hear about what they're thinking, because I am willing to bet you that Willie has that Tom Thumbhead Sykes on speed dial right about now. And we will be getting an article in 3, 2, 1, exactly. And this squatty said, Kate watching the news unfold right now because she knows they're going to have to drag her out of the house to make her work to keep Meghan from getting all of the good press. Yes, you know Willie and Kitty are sliding down walls right about now. Woo! I'm telling you, they are rolling around on those 400-year-old rugs right about now. I cannot, y'all. Woo! Just the thought of it, it absolutely makes my heart leap. But yeah, you know they are. Willie is snatching curtains out of the frames. Yeah, so 200-year-old curtains are just being snatched out of the frames. Butlers are being choked out. So much crying and wailing and gnashing of teeth, sucking of snot and holding of stomachs. It is all going down over there at Kensington Palace, or should I say in Windsor. Yeah, they are crying real tears. And we'll hear about it. And this squatty is kind of taking on the derangers. They're saying that Harry and Meghan are moving back because they're broke, which makes no sense because they're keeping their house in Montecito. They're keeping their house in Portugal. Now, this is not the way people who are broke move. But this squatty said the They are moving back because their broke narrative is just stupid. I'm going to need people to think critically. Why would they keep a house in California and the vacation house in Portugal and then buy and secure a place outside of London and relocate, which is another huge expense? If they're broke, also, they're moving to a non-royal residence. So that means that they are footing the bill. King Charles might be closer to the grave than people think. That is what squatties are saying. It is going to get interesting, y'all. We need to lock in because it's going to get interesting. Because if Charles is closer to the grave than we think and he passes away, we got Willie and Kitty to contend with. And Harry and Meghan are not giving up their house in Montecito. That's another clue. You have to be a critical thinker like this particular squatter is saying. It is more to this story. And this squatty right here agrees with me. This squatty says there has to be more to this story. It has to be. Something is going on, y'all. And I am going to find out. I must say, I am going to be on these internet streets all the time because if anybody can figure this out, squatties can. We will get to the bottom of this. And this squatty says, I have this horrible feeling that they were given news at the Highgrove meeting that Chucky is on the way out. And Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex agreed to come back with the kids to be with him. And as soon as he passes, they'll leave. And that's why they're keeping their Montecito home. Now, what do y'all think about that theory? That seems to be the running theory among squatties. And I must say, I'm kind of landing on that side too. Something happened at Highgrove that changed everything. And I am just wondering what that is. Now, Charles does have a new private secretary coming in, and that would be Theo Rycroft. And he has pushed out that demon, Clive Alderton. And he was the one standing in the way of all the reconciliation. At least that is what Harry has said. So could it be Theo is coming in and really changing things up like he said he would? Because it was a big write-up in the Daily Fail saying that this was his intention to bring Harry and Meghan back. And y'all know we scoffed at Richard Maureen Eden when he kept writing about an establishment plot to bring Harry and Meghan back. But I be damned, Maureen was right. Something has changed. It has. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Do you think Charles told Harry something at Highgrove that changed everything? Because that's the only way I can see Meghan agreeing to come back to that small island nation. But I do see some squatties saying that Harry and Meghan never wanted to leave in the first place. They were driven out. They was ran off. They were pushed out and bullied out. So I don't know, y'all. It's going to take a while for us to really figure this out. This squatty said, I was thinking this. The last Christmas with him, just a school year, perhaps, and then back to sunny California. It might be. It might be what we think it is. Right now, that is the only thing that makes any sense. And this other squatty said, my thoughts exactly. And also an opportunity for the Duchess of Sussex to launch as ever in Europe. Why else would they keep their home in Montecito? Also, they're not coming back as working royals and not half in, half out. And this last squatty said could be something very serious had to have happened for them to decide to go back to the UK. And it seems like it was a quick thing because it clearly seemed like Archie and Lily was, ready to go to school in California. And they're saying that Archie and Lily will start the second week of school in the UK. So evidently, this had to be a very quick decision. What is going on, y'all? What is going on? All right, y'all, I want to play what was said about this on GB News. And Zanny Sussex posted about it and said Nina Mykoff reacts to the news that Harry and Meghan sitting up base in the UK, says Harry, like his mother, has a natural ability to connect with people, unlike William, who is entitled and pompous. I am all for it. They were hounded out of this country by the media, egged on by the royal palaces. And I'm going to play a clip of that and we'll talk on the other side.
I am, in contrast to all of you, I am utterly delighted. My only proviso being that I hope that they have as nice a life here as they did in California. I am all for it. They were hounded out of this country by the media, egged on by the royal palaces. They were bounced out and they've made the best of it. And they have been such a loss. If you look at the contents of the palace balcony for a fly past, there's nobody there. I mean, there's all between sort of 60 and death, basically.
That's not true. I mean, we've had Louis. Louis's a big draw. George, you've got...
But they're not... I know they're not coming back as working royals, but I bet you, after the Invictus Games, Harry will be. He is... I'm sure Cameron will confirm this. I've not seen him in person. I've never met him. But the way he handles a crowd, the ability, the affinity he has with people, that's like his mother. And he is a natural performer, unlike William, who is, in my eyes, kind of entitled and rather pompous. And I have said for a long time now that what I would like to see is Henry IX.
Right, you'd make him king.
I would.
Right.
I said it half an hour ago in the green room.
Nothing if not consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing. But
Might be a few legal.
Did you hear Nina? Nina said she wants King Henry IX. I must admit, I disagree with Nina. I would not like to see Harry King and Meghan Queen. I would not. Now, would they be good at it? They would be good at it. They would. But, dealing with what they would have to deal with, I don't even understand yet why they're moving back. But it has to be a hell of a reason. I'm just saying. And that is why I am telling squatties to hold on. Don't react so harshly. It has to be a hell of a reason. And this squatty posted about what the derangers are saying, what all the flying monkeys are saying. They say the mouthpieces and the derangers, Harry and Meghan, are crawling back. Crawling back, they aren't selling their home in the US and Portugal. They're not going to be working royals. They aren't going to stay at any royal residence. They have bought a house in the UK. Meghan will continue with her as ever business. Yeah, where is the crawling back part? I want to see that. It is going to be so strange, y'all. It is going to be weird. But it is definitely going to be interesting. And this squatty said, interesting, the way folks who were upset about the Sussexes losing Frogmore as their UK home are the same folks in an uproar about Harry and Meghan buying a home outside of London as their new UK base. Yeah, it just takes some time. Yeah, we got to settle in and get our head around it. but it's going to be okay. It really is going to be okay. And it's really, really going to be interesting to watch. So, yeah, y'all need to lock in. This is just another phase. It is going to be a very interesting time to be a squatty. I am absolutely sure of it. And Zanny Sussex said, it has been clear for a while Brand Britain has taken a global beating over the way Harry and Meghan was treated by that family. Make no mistake, this is a well-planned attempt to undo the damage by making peace with the Sussexes. The most annoying part, Richard Eden was right that the UK government was unimpressed with Willie and Kate and wanted the Sussexes back under Project Thaw. I said this earlier in this podcast. Maureen was right. He was. I absolutely lambasted him and said he was a liar, but he was right. So I'm going to give the devil his due and say even a broke clock is right twice a day. So he was right. And like Zanny, it annoys me to say that. And Zanny goes on and says he's going to be absolutely insufferable. You know it. He absolutely is. I bet he is writing his column as we speak. Zanny says Harry and Meghan always said they intended to live between the UK and the US. In fact, they had a home in the UK until Charles spitefully took it away. They're not selling their U.S. home and giving up their Portuguese base. If they return, they'll be doing it on their own terms, free from being slaves and scapegoats. A triumphant return. Sound the trumpets. Yes, absolutely. And we cannot allow the flying monkeys and all the ugly old hags, the skanks, the toadies, and the derangers to craft a narrative that Harry and Meghan are somehow coming back with their tails between their legs. It absolutely is not that. It's something else that we don't know about, but it's absolutely not that. Because all rational thinking people can figure that one out. And Zanny absolutely had to put this one in there. And I'm telling you, when I saw it, I cackled. Look what Zanny said. Zanny said, as a petty side note, the toxic Daniela Iser is a catfish. She looks nothing like the catfish picture on her bio. None of those flying monkeys do. Yes, look at Angela Levin. In real life, she looks like a troll doll, but yet and still, her bio picture looks like she's actually human. And I'm also going to put this one up. This is going to be my last one because this squatty seems to be on the same page that I am and is really enjoying just knowing that Willie and Kitty are absolutely losing their shit right about now. This squatty said, my jaw is on the floor. William is probably hyperventilating in a closet somewhere in his six forever home. Ha 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 ha. This is going to be interesting. And people said Meghan was afraid to set foot back in the UK. Yes, it's going to be interesting, y'all. Very, very interesting. All right, y'all. I am going to leave y'all to talk about this, to hash it out. I'm still trying to get my head around all of it, but I really think that it is going to be a really interesting time to be a squatty. I think we need to keep our powder dry, wait and see exactly what is going on here because it's something going on here behind the curtain and we cannot see what that something is right now. But like it always does, it becomes clearer and clearer as time goes by. So we will be here on these internet streets figuring it all out. All right, y'all, hit the comments. Let me know what you are thinking. I am going to be in the comments as well. And I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.